haven't really done very much this year apart from set up this place and
Well, that's quite a lot. You should be more proud of that than you are.
setting up this, starting a podcast. Threatening to do music. It's kind of.
I mean, the thing is that, and just for our listeners as well, because I assume we've started now, but this is our first night podcast. Generally speaking, we're here at 7 o'clock on a Saturday morning.
Yeah.
I
I think we got a little bit more pep, don't we? Like, this seems easier.
Well, I think, there's probably pros and cons there. And I think one of the pros, obviously, is we're more awake because we've been awake all day. I think one of the cons is that we're going to slow down quite quickly. Well, it's like...
It's not super late. It's past my bedtime.
We're one normal work shift of 8 hours away from when we would be here normally. Yeah. So it's pretty late. But I wanted to start by telling you a story.
Okay.
I'm sure I haven't told you about it before, but it's about a cousin of mine that lives down past Ballyshannon, in the rural areas there. So, he's a little older than me, but they had a farm, and he grew up on a farm. So he's just standard, Irish boy who grew up on a farm, loves tractors. He was driving, wanting to drive tractors pretty much from he was like 4, 3 or 4.
Actually driving them from he was like 6.
Well, not even. This is the thing is that, he had posters of tractors up as well, but his dad wouldn't let him drive it until he was 13.
Okay.
That was it. You're not allowed to drive it until you're 13, and we'll teach you then. Which I think was the law, or still is the law, one of the two.
Yeah.
He was just using that to be... And that's, my 13-year-old son, I would probably let him drive a tractor now, but only just.
I mean, I do not think 13-year-olds are in any way
around the farm, not on the road, but around the farm. That's fine.
I mean, around a field.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Maybe not around an actual farm, with buildings and corners and
I was thinking of the fields when I said farm. Not but anyway, so I remember going to his birthday parties when he's 9 or 10 and 11, where it's tractor cake. Everything's tractor. Is super into tractors.
Yeah,
you cannot express this enough. But I remember then. So on his 13th birthday, the whole thing was you're going to get to drive the tractor. And he just was buzzed. So he gets in it's in the morning. I wasn't there for this. It wasn't at the party or something where everybody's cheering him on.
Yeah.
His dad just got up and gave him his present and said, Mum will go and get in the tractor now. So he shows him all the bits and bobs, what to do. And they have a long driveway up to their house. I'm talking half a mile, up to from the road. So he's right. The dad drove it down and said, I'll walk back up, right, and you drive it up to me, now you know what you're doing. Just bush, 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 that's what it looks like. Go and do it. So he gets into the tractor. About halfway up, it just veers off to the left into a ditch.
Right.
Goes straight over on its side. And crashed it, it's completely off. And his dad wasn't raging or anything. It wasn't he got in trouble. It's mostly his dad's fault, realistically.
Yeah. I mean, he's the fucking responsible adult there, isn't he?
But at least his dad, appreciated that. He was just consoling him, is what I was told. But
is what you were told.
But that was the end of his tractor career now. So he just that was and you get it, he builds it up for literally his whole life, and then he fucks it up. Do you know what I mean? I can play on you, so he stops being into tractors, but he pretty much becomes he's only 13, and a rural 13 back in the 90s. It's not now. It was what we would consider now depressed and so, but at the time it was just moody teenager. But all the posters off his walls, you know, blah blah blah. And he doesn't really have any interests, you know, and he doesn't like want to go to the GA club. He doesn't want to do these things. He just sort of sits in his room and like listens to music, or whatever.
Yeah.
He doesn't have many friends. So his dad gets him like this wee, like a Springer Spaniel. What's the ones where they're golden?
A golden retriever?
No, like, but there's like a Springer Spaniel, but it's like
Oh,
brown or whatever, like a cockapoo or something. I don't know.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure it's a bird.
But he gets this dog. It gets him as a puppy. And, like, they had dogs around the farm, obviously, but they were working dogs. So this dog was just to be pet and nothing else, you know. And that really brings him out of his shell. He's like walking the dog all the time. He's, you know, doing this whole dance, and like he gets back into like being sociable. You know, that really like turned the corner. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But then he ends up, you know, it's like 4 or 5 years later, they're like inseparable, him and his dog. He walks him every day, but he goes off to university and he heads over to England. And he comes back like as often as possible, 'cause it's only over in England, like. And like just more than anything else, spend time with his dog than anybody else, than anything else, just to like go and see his do him for walks, do a big trip, go to the beach, whatever, you know. But he's back. No, he's like 20 or whatever. He's back for Christmas, and he's just like back throwing the stick to the dog catching it. You know, that whole dance. But just like you were talking about, you know what I mean?
You know that whole thing? The stick and the dog. I'm familiar.
Just like you were talking about with your place that you've bought, what your water situation is, that they had a well, you know, a literal well. So he throws a stick and stick goes in the well, dog jumps, and it goes like. So he's like, fuck, but it's grand. It's like, it's not dead or anything. It's there, like, and you can see it and it's alive and it's, you know, keeping itself going. But he's like, he can't get it himself because it's like way too far down for him to like even lean down or even to like, you know, so he has to get somebody to help. So he goes to try and find his dad, but his dad's at the pub. But you know, this is the 90s in like, you know, rural Ireland. The pub's not a real pub. It's just some boy's gaff. Like it's like a shed at the side where he just has like pint cans.
Yeah.
But it's just a literal shed. There's no fanciness about it. He's got like a bar top, obviously, but not obviously, but you know he does, and he serves people and they pay him. But it's not in any way, shape, or form an official pub that follows by any official rules. And everybody's just in there, and there's maybe like 45 people that come from all the houses around, like probably like a 3 or 4 mile radius. Yeah. You know, all each way. They all come to this one place to drink, and especially at Christmas time, everybody's having their winter moments. Like, so your man, the cousin of mine, he runs to the pub to get his dad so he can do it together. But he opens the door, and it's just, he can't even see in front of him because it's just a cloud of smoke, and he's like panicking. He doesn't know what to do. And he has to like try. He's calling out for his dad, but he doesn't. You know, it's really noisy. There's all these people talking. They're all drunk. They're all shouting. You know. So he just like closes the door and like, you know, takes a minute to himself. He opens it again and he just starts sucking in. And he just literally just like, you know, like a Hoover, he just like sucks all the smoke out of the room. And he runs over to his dad and says, "Dad, come help me with the dog." And his dad's like, wait, stop a minute. How did you suck all the air out of the room? How did you get all that smoke out of the room? He said, "It's easy. I'm an Extractor fan."
I cannot believe how many minutes, how many fucking minutes did I just listen to that shit? Nathan.
I cannot tell you how long I've wanted to make go through that. It's the worst joke because you're just so angry at the end of it. You sat for like 10 minutes invested in a story. Just for it to be a shitty pun like that.
Like at multiple points I was going through, I was like, oh fuck, you know, he got depressed. Did he kill himself? Oh, he got the dog. Oh, you know, and then it's like, well, you were talking about that, you know, him coming in, he couldn't see and he couldn't because there was too much hair. And I was like, oh, they find out he was autistic, or like, there's so many different points in that story that I thought you were going somewhere that wasn't a fucking dad joke.
It's really, like, because it's one of those jokes though. Like I put in like a load of fluff in there about like university and all sorts of shit. But like I've made that joke last for like 25 minutes. I've gone for that long just putting in fluff and like building the story. I didn't want to do that to you, but that's as far as I've
I
taken
cannot believe that's half of the episode. You just spent on a dad joke, on a pun.
I'm happy for it to stop there and this to be this whole episode on its own. If you don't want to follow from that,
I don't even know where to go from it. And you know what makes makes me angry is because I work in special effects with massive fans. I'm always getting the, oh, is that your biggest fan?
Yeah.
You know, it's like, so it holds a particular, you know, sore point.
you didn't see it coming.
Oh my god.
Just the moment that I said he sucked all the smoke out of the room, just the look of confusion in your face where you still thought it was real, and you're like, what?
Yeah, it's like, that doesn't work. It doesn't work like that.
I'm sorry for that. It's just I had to get it out of me.
I don't even think we can segue into anything else. I think we just have to leave that as the episode. What am I supposed to do with that?
I mean, you're in an impossible situation because you can't counter it with another one because now I'd see it coming. You know, you have to catch me out
I
later
can't
on.
fucking go anywhere with that. Good God.
That joke doesn't have to be more than 2 lines. That's the best part. To get the extractor fan joke, you know what I mean? Oh, God. It's one of my utmost pleasures in life is to reel people in for that long just to fucking ruin it. Sorry, I'm just tickled pink with myself.
I got nothing. I got nothing.
Call it there. It's fine.
You're fucking dying.